Y'all know that crazy president of ours actually sent out a tweet to Caitlyn. I'm sorry, excuse me, Bruce Jenner. I gotta laugh at that. I'm sorry. That's the funniest thing. I could get on that all day long. And you know what? I think I'm going to talk about it for just a minute. All right, this is James from the I'm Free Project. And man, I'm telling you, Bruce Jenner on the front of Vanity Fair. Man, that picture now, y'all. Let's get right into that picture now. Cause first of all, y'all know there's nothing but Photoshop. Cause if y'all seen that man straight up front, and you know what, I'm just gonna keep this real. That dude, he's really going through some things. You know what? Do your prayers, do all that kind of stuff. But they're really going through some stuff. And again, I think it's all a part of a bigger agenda to push a bigger agenda by the media, by the masses, onto the masses. Again, to get the world to accept and normalize a mental dysfunction called gender identity disorder and make it normal and make it seem like it is just a everyday way of life. Oh, you know, my child is 7 years old and, you know, he just so happens to like girly things. So we're going to start dressing him in girls' clothes and all these things and blah, 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 whoom-de-whoomp, and doing the Brad and Angelina stuff, letting their little girl dress like a boy. And then you got Will Smith's son wearing dresses to proms and all that kind of stuff. And they're not the only ones. I mean, you got all these celebrities that y'all just don't see the pictures of them going out there and trying to dress, quote unquote, high fashion and Eurocentric and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I'm not trying to be, you know, like, I guess you could say closed-minded, because somebody might throw out there, well, you know, in other cultures, men wore this and blah, 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 won't do them. Let me tell you something. Popularity does not, just because it's popular doesn't mean that it lines up with God. I'm telling you, it does not matter. That's the most foolish thing I've ever heard. And I'm trying to keep this still here. But yeah. So getting back to Bruce Jenner / Caitlyn / demonic influence. Yeah, you know, this whole thing has really gotten out of proportion and is really taken over the airwaves, over true news. The fact that this man, and I guess, you know, him being a symbol of masculinity and being a big time, what was he, of the Olympian, you know, for him now to say that he's a woman and all that kind of stuff, you guys, you see what's happening? Your children are being inundated with this. So the next generation is going to be like, oh, it's no big deal. He thinks he's a she. Excuse me. He thinks he's a she. She thinks she's a he. All of that stuff. So, I need some water. But yeah, so now the kids, they're really, what's going to happen is that now, which by the way, you know, I saw something else on one of those ABC Family or Disney shows. Again, they're trying to push that agenda and trying to get push it to the kids, and they're doing it in a very slick and evil way. I mean, just real slick about it too. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that. It has something to do with the rainbow, and they're introducing, it looks like they're introducing this effeminate high school boy. You know, so, but anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. So anyway, back to Bruce. So yeah, Bruce. I mean, between the prancing elites and then you have Bruce dressed up like a woman, acting like a girl, still got man parts below. You know, I don't know if he has real breasts or what, but they surely did Photoshop some cleavage on him on that picture. I'm telling you, boy, it's some really crazy stuff that's happening. And then your president wants to tweet that man and tell him, you know, it takes a lot of courage to tell your story. Now, mind you, there's 101 stories out there of people who have transitioned from being a transgender back to their natural state. There's a lot of stories out there. And as a matter of fact, I know one. You know, so it is so sad that we have a president that will actually tweet someone and tweet support of someone who has a mental disorder. The man has a mental disorder. The man is dysfunctional. You know, I mean, all of us are, I guess, crazy to some extent. We all have our idiosyncrasies, but this man has gender identity disorder. It's a dysphoria. I mean, it's something, and I cannot believe that your president is going to celebrate this. But this is what he does, and this is what he was put on the platform to do. And so now that because all black people just love him no matter what, I voted for him because he's black. You know how many black people I've heard say that? It's ridiculous. And vice versa too. If I hear white people say they wouldn't vote for him because he was black, then that's just as bad. But anyway, passing that point, it's ridiculous and this is crazy that the president will take his time out of a president's schedule to celebrate gender identity disorder. Y'all, that's what it is. And so anyway, I'm done with all of that, but that's just my 2 cents. I knew I was going to say something, and you may not like it, but I'm telling you, we really got to pay attention to why part of why Barack Obama was put in the place that he was, because Barack Obama was the black face to help push the homosexual agenda to the black community and to really bring the hammer down on churches. This man is so anti-Christian, it's ridiculous. And he's so pro-Muslim, it's crazy. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk. There's so many things that are happening now that is so anti-Christian that are coming from his administration that you're going to see such a change in this country.